one who was really doing this stuff.
You can't be afraid to fail. Every single time I fail, I always learn from it.
They're not worried about you. So it's like, why should you worry about them?
If you truly do lock in at what you're doing, it's gonna pay off, and then people are gonna see that.
Some of those clips were just unreal.
We found out like a week later, Gatorade posted a similar video, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right here.
For example, like the AI stuff. You don't know what's true and what's not.
So you gotta just be yourself, because I think everyone has something to offer in this world. That's how you stand out.
And obviously we could tell, bro, you're definitely doing that in the work that you're putting in. What's a quote or mindset that you live by every single day?
Oh, geez, man. Yeah,
My guy, what's up, bro?
Boy, let's go.
Everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of From the Lions Co podcast. I'm your host, Marcelo, and today we have a very special guest, my guy, Nathan Stuck.
Sir.
Welcome to the podcast, brother.
It's a pleasure, man. I'm happy to be here. Long awaited.
Long awaited, bro.
Both been killing it.
It's crazy, man. So I've known Nate for a while, probably since freshman year of high school. Obviously, we'll talk more about that as we go throughout the pod.
Yep.
But Nate, you have been doing some incredible things, obviously, with the videography, photography. I mean, the stuff that you post on Instagram, the stuff that you do on YouTube, everything media related is just crazy. Nate has generated thousands and thousands of views from his posts, from his work, and bro, it is an absolute honor to have you here, bro.
Dude, I appreciate that. I got that.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Hey man, that means a lot for real. It's been a grind. It's been a grind, and it hasn't been that long for real. I started about 8 months ago, so it's been great.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
So recently, you just dropped a Stranger Things X Geraci's edit, which for those that don't know Geraci's, it's a little pizza shop, a nice little Italian spot. It's very good. So it took off. It just blended storytelling, just blended the Halloween atmosphere, and it was just unreal. So what inspired that concept, and how did you approach connecting a local pizza shop to such a great show?
So, first of all, Geraci's is owned by Hangry Brands, so it's a hospitality group. Great people, woman owned, and well, there's his name's Jason. He's an owner, but all women owners too. But they're great. And so what they did was they decorated their place, their restaurant, Stranger Things theme, because it's coming out soon, and I'm a huge fan of the show. So once they proposed that idea, I was like, let's go. And my boys, I work with two guys. They've been killing it with what they're doing. They kind of taught me everything I know, and yeah, so. My one boy's been getting into AI stuff, so I was like, you know what? Social media manager that I work with, I asked her, I was like, hey, you want to be in Stranger Things? And she was like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I basically just went into the shoot, and yeah, from there I made it happen. So it was pretty crazy.
Wow. So now, how long did it take you to make that? And what just inspired you to keep going? I know doing media work, doing, editing, everything like that, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So what just kept you motivated throughout that?
Yeah, man. So I've always had a passion for creating. Even before, I had my first camera, I've always been a creative. I've always wanted to create. I didn't know what it was back then. But I always just loved creating things, telling stories, and so I'm sorry, what did you say at first?
Oh, so how long did it take?
Oh, the video. Okay, yeah, the project itself. Well, realistically, it took about a week and a half, but that's because I have other work on top of that too. That's the thing. It's like one after another. I'm never not doing something. I always got to stay active, stay busy. But realistically, it would have taken probably 4 or 5 days, maybe 4, now that I'm, kind of getting a lot faster with it. But it took about a week and a half with everything I got going on. So
wow, yeah, that is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then throughout your time, I mean, you've also worked with brands like the Cleveland Guardians, DJ Cairo, who actually knows my friend Toby. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Shout out him.
He was a great guy, man. That was awesome to work with him.
Yeah, and you also did Jolene's on East 4th. Mm-hmm. You've done also a lot of other bars and club-like scenes. So they all have their own special vibe. So how do you adjust your creative approach when shooting professional spots versus a lifetime a nightlife brand.
No, no worries. Yeah, no, for sure. Thing like the Guardians, that was the first time I did, sports with my team, and it was amazing, man. I got to be next to Carlos Santana and all those players and stuff. It was a blessing for sure. But to kind of prepare, I talk it over with my team first. We have our little meeting. When I say team, I kind of let's just call it a collective because we're technically all independent, but we work together for the most part.
Yeah.
So basically, how it works is I'll get contracted out. Gabe's my other guy that I work with, and Logan. Gabe's my mentor too, so he taught me everything I needed to, know. But well, yeah, we'll talk it over. We're all independent. We get contracted out, and if we need help, we call each other up. So for the Guardians thing, we all three took that on because it was a big project, and yeah, to kind of prep, we go over, we make a shot list. Do you know what a shot list is? Kind of just yeah, for sure. It's like it is, a list full of shots and everything. So yeah, we kind of prep that way with the shot list and come in and honestly, me personally, I've found that my best work happens on spot sometimes. Like even the Stranger Things, I kind of went into the shoot and I didn't know what I was getting into. I actually didn't prep for it to be, I didn't prep for AI to be mixed in with that. But I went in for a recap because they had a little event going on for the Stranger Things thing. And I found afterwards when I got all my shots out the way, I was like, hey, what if I added a little extra into that? And what if I added some AI in there and made her into Stranger Things? But I also mixed it with my brand, with our brand, our style of creative. And it worked out great. And if we found out like a week later, Gatorade posted a similar video just like that. They used AI in their video, and they had a Stranger Things mixed in with their brand and everything. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right here. All right. So
Wow, that is absolutely crazy.
yeah, for sure.
So then going back to the Jolene's, you've been doing, I think you've had what, like one or two like shoots there? I mean, I've seen it on like Instagram. You've done a lot with them.
Yeah, for sure. So Jolene's is also part of Hangry Brands. So that's that hospitality group I was telling you about. So they own like eight different places, and Jolene's is like one of their biggest. And I'm able to get really creative with them. So, you were asking how I prep for it. Yeah. So I mean, it's a country bar, country scene. So first things first, I gotta know what I'm getting into. So the Guardian shoot, it's sports. So I gotta know that I'm shooting sports. With Jolene's, it's a country bar. So basically, I start prepping with I start getting in. I gather inspo. Like I get my own inspo video that I make first, just to kind of get ideas, and then go into the shoot and build off of that. So
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome. So then you came out to the CSS 2025. Obviously, that was unreal. I mean, before then, I probably haven't talked to you in probably like 2 or 3 years, which is crazy. And, when I was trying to build this brand, you were just like posting just fantastic content, fantastic videos.
Appreciate it.
And two,
That's a lot.
you were always friends with my boy Mark. Who obviously I've known for years, and I was like, hey, you know what? I should reach out to Nate. I haven't talked to him in a while, so obviously I reached out to you. You were more than happy just to come and do it, and that was just incredible. So you made a crazy mixtape, which had I think which now has like 4.7K views, which is absolutely unreal. So what was your mindset going into that shoot? Because you've never really done sports before.
Yeah, so well, I have done I've done sports a little bit. I played sports growing up my whole life. So actually, sports was probably one of the first things that I have shot before. But I never did it for like professional work or anything. I always did it for myself. Like North South, that rivalry that goes on. I always shot for them after my football career ended and stuff. But in terms of CSS, bro, I was so happy you asked me to come, man. I was trying to, that was at my peak busyness. I'm still peak busyness, but at that time, I was really trying to find time to come because I was like, this is a great opportunity. So, yeah, I just want to thank you for that because that was awesome to come out to. And I stand by, that's one of my favorite videos I've ever made. Really, it really is, man. I don't know what it was, but the same thing, man. That was one of those videos I didn't really have much preparation for, because I knew it was for charity, and I kind of just wanted to, blend my own style with that, and it ended up working out beautifully, man. Like I really thought, like I don't know. I just really like that video. It's a great vibe. I don't know if it's because it's for, for charity, for what you're doing. But I think it turned out exactly how I wanted.
Dude, I mean, it was absolutely awesome. I mean, like you came into that shoot. I mean, as soon as you got there, you just took out the camera and just went recording everything, bro.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely awesome because I mean, even like the, like the photos, like the backdrops, like some of those clips were just unreal. And even like some of shots that like didn't go in, which like I know that didn't go in, you edited those that so like it just smooth. It was just so smooth and it just flowed so well, and it was just awesome. And too, obviously you've been around sports your whole life, but that was just different playing backyard basketball. Like it was like a 3-on-3 league. I mean, we don't really have those around here.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I wanted to kind of show what you're doing and what you had, because that's the thing. It wasn't just about, that's what people don't realize. Like with what we're trying to do, we're trying to tell stories. In that case, I didn't want to just pick up the camera, give you a couple of videos, and that was it. I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to tell what you were doing, and I hope I did that well. So.
Dude, I mean, seriously, bro, definitely told a huge story. And also, too, I mean, it was awesome because obviously with like my league and giving back to charity, like the whole goal of it was just to promote it, just like show people, hey, this is what it's all about, this is what we're actually doing, like we're trying to do something bigger than ourselves. So, and then obviously as well, bro, you got fantastic content, so it's always like a win-win. Like I always think of it as that, like, hey, like if I'm doing something, I want you to be a part of it. I want you to join into it. And then also too, if you're doing something, hey, is there anything that I could do to, help carry out your dreams or, help you with something that can better yourself in your career? So obviously, bro, that was just awesome. So,
dude, I appreciate it, man. Like, again, I didn't know what I was going to get into. It was pretty like, it was kind of last minute for me, and I just wanted to be there. I wanted to make sure I got something out of it. And so, again, that's one of those things. I came in there, didn't really, have preparation, kind of just wanted to create whatever, however I was feeling. And once I got into the edit, I was like, you know what if I, because we did some interviews and stuff. So I was like, how can I incorporate this into my style? And for those of you who don't know, like our style is like super, fast-paced storytelling, just cool edits and kind of just whatever we feel like we want to do. And it ends up, looking really crazy and cool. But yeah, that's just, you just kind of want to wow the audience with what we're doing. So in that case, I was like, how can I do this with sports? Because yes, I worked in sports a little bit before, but not with what I'm doing now. So I wanted to try to, incorporate what we're doing with this nightlife content into, that sports video. And I don't know, man, like I added the news articles in there. And by the way, those aren't, I probably shouldn't say this, but some of those aren't real. So that's another thing, man. I used I'll just tell it how it is. I use ChatGPT for some of those stuff, and then some AI softwares, and then we don't only use AI, like we edit a lot of our content. Like it's like we take AI and we build off of it. We don't just use AI and put it in there. We have to build off of that. And so because I know a lot of people don't like AI. So but in our case, we're not just using AI to cheat. We're using it to build off of. And for that, I used it for the news articles because I wanted it to feel like, hey, man, CSS is big. It's bigger than what it seems like. And so yeah, I love that video, bro. I really do. And that's why I got almost 5,000 views, because it's just a great story. Great story.
Great story, bro.
Yeah,
Seriously. Sure. So hopefully next year we can keep it up and keep on doing our thing with it.
Yeah.
So people always see the finished product, but not the late nights, not the retakes, not the constant just being on your camera all the time. But what's the one thing people most, oh my gosh, I keep on forgetting it.
Now what? I don't know. No, what I'm doing.
I said, what's the one thing most people misunderstand about the work that goes into your videos?
What's the one thing most people misunderstand? I mean, just how long it really does take, really. I mean, something as simple as a 30-second reel is not, it doesn't take just like an hour. You're not just filming and putting it together. I mean, you got to put everything together, so all the late nights, really, like you said it in the statement or whatever. It's literally it's just a grind. It's like I'll be up, I'll be up at 5 a.m. because I want to get up early, or I'll stay up till 5 a.m. editing. Like people don't realize that. And also I guess I'm never not thinking about work, right? So I could be walking in the park and I'm always thinking about what I got to do next. What's my next, my next goal? What's the next content piece I got to create? Or if I'm working on a project, right? If I'm editing something, and I don't finish it and I have to do something, I'm still thinking about, hey, how can I further this project? So I guess people don't realize how much I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing with work. And so, yeah, I guess that's the big thing is that I'm just, never not working.
Yeah.
But I love it though. That's the thing. So it doesn't feel like work because this is, it's truly a blessing to wake up every day and do something I love,
Yeah.
and be able to, live off of that is insane. It's just, it's a blessing. It really is. Like I can't believe it's real, but, 8 months ago or however long it was, I was working at a restaurant still and, I met the right people and eventually decided to take that step forward and quit that job and just go broke. But it ended up working out, man. I'm doing so much better now and I couldn't be happier. So
Yeah, so like, obviously, bro, your journey is absolutely incredible. Obviously talking about your time playing college ball, played at Ashland for 2 years, and then also too, I mean, just to take that risk, obviously quit your job and then, not knowing what's gonna happen next, and then you find your way. So like, if there was one piece of advice that you would give to others out there that are afraid to take that risk or afraid to take that next step, like what would you say?
yeah, man. You can't be afraid to fail. I've failed so many times in my life, but every single time I fail, I always learn from it. And um, you know, there's always room to grow. There's always room to grow. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I live every single day like there's no tomorrow. And because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So I always try to learn something new every day, try to better myself every day. And so you gotta take that risk because there's, it's we're on this earth for so long. So, and I promise you, not everyone's caring about what you think. I struggle with that too. I always think, yeah, and I still struggle with that to this day. I do care about what people think sometimes, but you got to get out of that mindset because everyone's doing their own things. Everyone's fighting their own battles, and you kind of got to get out of that mindset and just do what you love.
Yeah.
Just got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I always live by is that, listen, like people are too worried about their problems more than they're worried about you. Like they're thinking about their problems, they're thinking about what they need to do. Like, they're not worried about you. So it's like, why should you worry about them?
100%.
So it's like, you just gotta keep on going, keep doing your things. I mean, like kind of in a recent podcast, I talked about how, I was afraid to post, reels or even go on TikTok and post things because like friends would see it and it would just change like, how people see me. Oh, he's all about like the podcast now. He doesn't post like personal stuff.
Yep.
But it's like, for example, like if you really want to grow, if you really want to, pursue your dreams, that's what you have to do. Even though it might not be, okay, I'm not posting me at a Academy, I'm not posting me with my family.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm posting my podcast because I want to achieve that. Like, I want the algorithm to find my dream.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. You're crazy until you're successful. So, I mean, that's really how it is, man. I've been doing content, and even if I wasn't consistent with it, I started the first time I ever vlogged or whatever you want to say, picked up the camera and recorded myself was in, I want to say 7th grade. I mean, that was a long time ago, and you know how it is, man. We're the same age, 22. Back in 7th grade, man, that was not popular back then. No. And so I from a young age, you kind of learned that, try to like drown out the noise a little bit because people are always going to make fun of you for that. So I actually did in middle school. I got made fun of for, because I was an athlete. So it was kind of weird to do that.
Yeah.
And it was, it wasn't normal. YouTube wasn't a normal thing. So when I was doing that, I would get made fun. And they were corny videos, but I was, I was in 7th grade. So
yeah.
But yeah, you got to kind of just drown out the noise because people eventually forget about it too. And then once you're, like I said, you're crazy until you're successful. Because if you truly do lock in at what you're doing and you stick to what you love doing, it's going to pay off. And then people are going to see that. You know, people are going to see that. Even people that love you, you know, some people might think it's, you know, crazy at first, but when they see that you're successful afterwards, then they start, you know, taking the initiative themselves to do what they want to do because they see someone they love that's doing, you know, doing great things, you know? So I think you're crazy until you're successful, and just got to take that step. So
Yeah, dude. So obviously you've been making huge moves. You've collaborated with some of the biggest names in Cleveland and brands in Cleveland. So looking ahead, do you see yourself doing more like local stuff, or do you see yourself doing more national stuff?
well, the beauty about what I'm doing right now, is I don't know where I'll be next week. I don't know where I'll be next month. So yes and no. Like for this next year, I think I want to, because I just started, right? I just started in Cleveland, and um, I have, like I said, I have a collective with 2 guys in Cleveland, but then I have 2 guys in Chicago as well that we work with. So we kind of have another branch out there, and so for all I know, you know, the Gabe, the guy that my mentor, could be moving out to Chicago. He can move out to Miami or whatever. And then I'll be in Cleveland. So I expect to be in Cleveland for this next year, but farther down the road, I have no idea. Because those guys, right? Those guys, for instance, they've worked for, you know, they've been in Dubai before. They've been in, you know, they've worked for, it's called Modball. It's like it's somewhere in Europe. It's something with cars. I don't know too much about it, but you know, they've worked for them. And then as an editor too, you know, we'll take jobs from Vegas. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been on a project from Vegas already, you know.
Really?
So yeah, Win Las Vegas. I just helped, I was at the bottom, you know, of the edits, but I was, you know, is my mentor, he was editing the project, and I helped him, you know, it's called pulling selects. So I did, like, you know, the lower work for him, but kind of prepped him up. And so yeah, I don't know where I'll be, honestly. And you know, I love Cleveland. I really do. It's home. It'll never not be home. But I don't see myself being here for the rest of my life. Just because I don't know where, you know, I don't know where this is going right now. So
Yeah.
yes and no. You know, I'll always be back home. I love my family's here, my friends are here. So no matter where I go, Cleveland will always be a part of me. But yeah, no, I think I want to expand as far as I can go.
Yeah. And too, dude, with social media, I mean, you never know who can reach out. I mean, someone could find your reel and then boom.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And then now you have a job, you know, halfway across the country in like California or in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't know what could happen. And it's so awesome that like the fact that you're building your foundation here, because then it can translate to other cities. And also too, you just went to a Chicago, right? Like,
I did. Yes, yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm starting that. I'm starting to move. Again, it's an early journey, but yeah, my guys, they just did their own spec ad for Nike or whatever. It's spec ad is like you're basically making an advertisement on your own to kind of showcase that for bit larger companies. So they did one for Nike, and I helped out there, and it was awesome. I got to see the city, Chicago, and where they live. They live in Wrigleyville. Oh, it's beautiful
nice.
down there, man. I wish I had more time to explore the city. I was kind of just working the whole time, but yeah, no, exactly. We were just in Chicago, and Gabe, who I work with, he was just in New York. He was in Chicago there. He stayed after me for another week. Then he went to New York the next week. And yeah, man, it's crazy. He was in Miami like a couple months ago. Like it's like once you like get your foot in the door and you start working, you never know who's gonna reach out, like you just said. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's awesome. I just love doing it, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like going back to like when we were kids, like no one was really doing this stuff. Like it's not as big as it is today, and you can make so much money. You can become viral. I mean, back then, I mean, it was only like the certain select few were viral. If you were famous on Vine, you obviously were viral on like YouTube and other apps.
Right.
But it's crazy now. You have people just blowing up, boom, overnight,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden their lives are changed.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's really good, but also too, anyone can become famous.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's like you really have to find, you know, what are you gonna do that, you know, makes yourself stand out compared to the rest. And obviously we could tell, bro, you're definitely doing that in the work that you're putting in. And obviously, you know, it all starts from home. But dude, I guarantee you, once you start going to other countries, even even other states, bro. It's gonna be unreal.
Yeah, man. I gotta work on my geography first before I start doing that, man. But yeah, no, it really is a blessing, man. I just love it. I love not knowing where I'm gonna be in a couple of weeks, man. Jobs, sometimes jobs will come and I'm like, what? Are we serious? I'm like, but I'm ready to go. So and that's another thing, man. You always got to stay ready. In the back of your mind, you always got to be prepared, and that's something I try to do every time. Even when I'm working, I'm always prepared for the next job. So
Yeah. Seriously. So what was the first video that you ever created that you kind of saw this as like, all right, this is something that I could do for like the rest of my life?
that's tough, man. I've been doing it for so long. I don't have like a specific video in mind. In terms of like, because I've made like memory YouTube. I don't really have a niche whatsoever in terms of content. If you're talking about YouTube, I don't really have my own niche for that. I kind of just tell stories to my friends, you know.
Yeah.
And back then it was like, it was weird back then, but I think my friends all appreciate it now because we have memories from high school and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that. But in terms of like what I'm doing in my career is really the first video I ever made, dating back with Gabe, the guy who I work with. The first video he ever gave me, which was about 8 months ago, like literally when I started, is when he gave me my first. He trusted me. He was like, "Hey, you want this bar crawl video?" And it was a bar crawl St. Patrick's Day video that he shot. And I remember I was like, "Oh, this is crazy. I don't want to mess up." But I studied other creators. I studied our team a lot, the guys who were doing it, and I took inspo from some videos, and I put pen to paper on the edit, and once I saw it done, I was like, wait, I just did that. And so that was probably the first video I showed them. I was like, I hope they like it, and they loved it. They're like, oh, this guy's, you know, he can do some stuff. Yeah, man. I think the thing about me is, I always knew I had like, you know, I knew I had it. I always knew I had like I could do it. But I needed someone to kind of mentor me a little bit and really show me that I could do it, you know, because I sometimes struggle to really believe that I could, you know, do everything that I want to do. But when you surround yourself around the right people, they can kind of guide you through what you want to do and kind of show you that you are valuable and you can really do the things that you really want to do. And Gabe, I can't thank him enough, man. He's walked me through so many things, not even just work problems, like just life in general. And this kid's 20, man. That's another thing. I'm humbled, man. I'm 22 and these kids, my whole team is younger than me. And so that's another thing too. When I first started working with them, I realized like, oh, I'm older than these guys. I got to pick this up now or never. If I don't do this right away, like I'm going to feel like I'm behind. So,
Yeah.
Man, I never stopped. Like dude, it's like, it's just a grind. It really is. But because they're so young, I think it motivates me to like kind of work double speed to kind of pick up the pace. And what Gabe always says, he's like, man, I just gave you the keys and you drove the car. I mean, but it's true, man. He did. But no, I can't thank him enough because I wouldn't be here without him. And he wouldn't be here without the guys in Chicago. And they wouldn't be here without, his name's Benjamin Guvic. He's another creator, is 150,000 on Instagram. Wow. And he's on our team as well. I mean, not really, you know, we work with him. I was with him in Chicago and it was, oh my gosh, dude, it was awesome. And that's another thing too, though. When you go to Chicago or you go to, you know, New York and see all these other creatives, you get humbled real quick and be like, oh, you got to pick up the pace a little bit more. So there, the beauty in this business is there's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
You know, you can never get comfortable. At least I never get comfortable because I realized everyone's there. Like, there's so many people creating nowadays, and that's where you know, I think you just got to be yourself because everyone's different. Everyone has, you know, nobody can copy somebody indirectly. You can't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So you got to just be yourself because that's how you stand out. That really is, you know. You just got to do things yourself as a creator because nowadays everything's saturated. Everyone's doing it. So you got to find a way to stand out. And that's what I'm trying to do now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also too, I mean, you always want to stay true to yourself because I mean, I mean, for example, like the AI stuff, like it's all, you don't know what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
The only thing you know that's true is yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the only reason that I do like AI is I do and don't, but that the AI stuff, I kind of use it, like I said, as a tool to help, not more so just as a tool to cheat. I kind of just, I prefer to lock in. What I'd rather do is tell a story through, without AI, because obviously I'd much rather be a real story, but sometimes AI can, help make the story come to life, like Stranger Things. You know what I mean? So, and that's never really, I mean, I don't think that's ever really been done before, the way we did it, the way me and my team did that, had worked on that video. And yeah, so it's great, man.
Wow. So just talking about, the network of connections, the people in your life. So we've known each other since freshman year of high school basketball, which is crazy. That was like 8 years ago, which is insane.
Time flies, man.
So, and it's crazy to see how, our friendship has grown since then. Obviously, me and you hooped, in a rec league, which was awesome. That was an absolute great time. So how have the relationships and lessons from sports transfer over to the, creativeness of your career and the way you collaborate with others today?
Oh, dude, sports, man, sports. I mean, dude, it bred me to be who I am. Just getting yelled at by coaches, it really humbles you to, that honestly, dude, yeah, sports is great, man. Sports, I don't know. I've been playing sports my entire life, and then 2 years of college, obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, just something about being with a team, and especially like I'm referring to football too. It's beautiful, like when you work with a team. And yeah, no, sports has really, brought so much to my life. But I eventually came to conclusion in college. I only played for 2 years because I wanted to kind of start my career up, and I eventually realized sports wasn't going to be my end goal, right? And I realized how good these guys actually were in college when I got there.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of when that was probably the hardest thing I ever had to do, was transfer back home to Cleveland State and start my career up, because I didn't know where I was going to go after that. But then it ended up working out. I met the right people. That's when I met Gabe, and kind of started working after that, which was awesome. So, but yeah, sports, man, sports is great. I love sports. Sports will always be, one of the reasons where I'm at right now. So
Yeah. And then what's something that you learned from your time at Ashland? I feel like with a lot of athletes that I talk to, they talk about their experiences. They talk about the level of play. What was kind of the one thing that, stood out to you? Obviously, playing at a D2 school, I mean, you got some fantastic talent coming in there.
Yeah, it's hard for me to like kind of think back. I've been like so like, I know you love sports and stuff. I haven't like thought about playing sports in a while and thought about these questions, but and also like, yeah, what was the question on that?
Like, what was like your biggest like takeaway from playing like college sports? Like obviously, there's a small percentage of kids that go on to play, a sport in college.
Just the grind in general, man. You got to grind every day. And like what I really liked about, some of those guys there is they didn't really, some of them didn't know where they wanted to be in life, but they always knew they loved football. And football kind of, it teaches you how to be, a man. You know what I mean? Like you got to be a dude there, man. You gotta wake up, eat, sleep, football, repeat. That's just how it was. But yeah, no, and I built great relationships there, and the mental toughness it brought to my, I can take some of the stuff that I learned from football into my, everyday life and stuff. But yeah, I kind of just it teaches you how to prepare for your life, and you know what I mean, because you gotta prep for practice, prep for work, and I also when I was playing football, I was taking 20 credits on top of that, and I was working a job at the rec center there, so I had to really kind of deal with not just playing football and kind of surviving on top of that. So it really does teach you how to survive in this world. So yeah, it's kind of my big takeaway from that.
Yeah, and also too, obviously, like the the discipline, like the patience, like
Yeah,
and all of that goes into the late nights of editing, staying up, and all of that.
Well, and I was gonna say too, for a lot of people, not so me. I've always been a pretty motivated person. It's one thing my best friend Ty back at home. He always he always tells me how he loves how motivated I am and stuff. And sometimes it's hard for me to see that, but yeah, no, that's another thing for people is sports it'll teach you how to be motivated in life, and that's something I love about sports is the motivation, because you know you really gotta lock in and drown out the noise of everything else going on in the world and just focus on sports and getting better. Yeah, there's a lot to take away with sports. Yeah, for sure.
For real. So the last question to wrap up, what's a quote or mindset that you live by every single day?
Oh, geez, man, this is a this is a crazy last question. You know, you ever hear people say like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time?
Yeah.
I like to say, I like to counter that by saying I'm here for a good time and a long time. I always say that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I like that mindset where it's not I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I want to be here for a long time too, you know? Because I think everyone has something to offer in this world. And yeah, it's something I've always lived by. Staying up and smiling all the time, and just kind of bringing something to this world, you know? So I guess that's a big one. I'm here for a good time and a long time. I'll go with that.
Beautiful, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That is hands down the best way to end off today's podcast, bro. Seriously, Nate, it's been a pleasure, bro. It's been
for sure, man. So much fun, bro. Great, man. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, it's been great catching up with you, obviously. Make sure you go check out his content if you want to plug to the audience.
Yeah, just Nate Stuck with 2 Ks. So that's literally everything. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, seriously, please go check out his work. It is absolutely fantastic. He's only going to get better and better, so you better hop on the wave now before it's too late.
Appreciate that. And hey, check out his podcast, man. He's killing it too.
Hey, me and you both, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll do it. Make sure you tune in. New episodes every Tuesday at noon. Make sure you like, comment, sub, and use code LionsCove. Peace.